Facts being said, it is a David versus Goliath contest between India and Australia that we're going to see happen tomorrow. It's the inaugural match or the opening match for India as far as their campaign in the AFC Asia Cup is concerned. They're up against the 2015 champions, a much more superior ranked team in Australia. But do India not have any chance at all? What's the head-to-head? What has the coach and the captain had to say? And what have the previous encounters been between these two sides? We have you covered with all of that. What have been their recent achievement as well? And what are the injury concerns for India? Everything that you need to know as India go ahead and play their opening match in the AFC Asia Cup. Well, we thought we'll bring you up to speed with everything over there. So be with us. We're going to tell you everything that you need to be knowing as far as this contest between India and the Socceroos or the Australian national football team is concerned. It's a football team, like I said, which is much more superior. India, by the way, you look at their group, there's Syria, there's Uzbekistan, there's Australia in the group as well. India are that team which have the most inferior ranking. Uzbekistan are as good as 68, Australia as good as 25, but India, even if they manage to finish number 3, which practically could be the position that they may be aiming for, because you'd like to assume that Australia and Uzbekistan are definitely taking those first 2 spots, but India, if they manage to finish in number 3, they still have a chance of qualifying for the playoffs, though they'll have to play another knockout match to be able to make it to the round of 16. But can they do that? We will have to wait and see. But let's tell you everything that you need to know as far as this contest is concerned. So let's start with the rankings, and you look at the rankings, there's absolutely just one winner that you'd like to pick. But is that to say that India have never beaten Australia? Hold on to that thought. We'll tell you. India being ranked 102 at the moment. Remember, just about a few weeks back, India had done well to pull their rank into the top 100. They had secured the 97 rank as well. But then things took a turn and India now 102 as things stand. Australia at number 25. Remember, it's the same Australian side that in fact played the round of 16 match against the eventual champions in Argentina. They lost that match in the round of 16. The other match, by the way, that they lost in the 4 games that they played in the FIFA World Cup was against the other runner-up, which was the runner-up of that particular edition, and that was France. They lost that match 4-1, but they beat Tunisia and they beat Christian Eriksen's Denmark as well. 1-0 victories over there for Australia was enough for them to qualify into the round of 16. Eventually, then losing to Argentina, but a mighty performance, a mighty spirited performance from Australia that we saw that time. So they're a very, very good side, and they know how India play. That's what the coach has said, that we know how technically good some of the players are. Those are the comments of coming from the Australian camp. As far as the comments from the Indian camp, we'll tell you that as well. But this is to tell you about the huge divide that presently exists between the two sides. Talking about the head-to-head, they've played 8 matches, 4 wins for Australia, 3 for India, just the 1 draw, and in their last meeting, well, it was a 4-0 victory for Australia. The better team, hands down, in this particular meeting, and India have, even though India have beaten Australia on 3 occasions, but that last victory as well came a good 67 years back, if memory serves me right. Now let's tell you about India's injury list, and that's a big concern for the Indian team, something that obviously the coach and the captain aren't particularly pleased about, but they'll have to make do with the squad that they have. So Anwar Ali, the defender, misses out. Ashik Karunian, the winger, by the way, from Kerala, his presence really could have made a big difference, but Ashik not there because of an injury. And then you've got your defensive midfielder in Jigson Singh, who also misses out. So they're not even in the squad. In fact, talking about somebody who is in the squad but has been ruled out for this particular match happens to be Abdul Samad, who is still recovering from an ankle sprain, and that's why he's been ruled out for this particular match. So that compounds the problem for India, not only up against a tough opponent, but the defensive line takes a hit because of these injuries. And remember, in this tournament and the group that India finds itself in, they will have to be doing a lot of defending, and the defensive line has been compromised in many ways. What's the coach's word? What did Igor Stimac have to say? Well, he said that we are far from being happy with the draw, but it is what it is. Why does he say that? Well, that's because India, the most inferior ranked team, the others highly ranked teams that India finds itself pitted against. He goes on to say that with a very short time for preparation, it's difficult to expect great things, but even greater concerns are that the injuries to some of our key players, and like we talked about the injuries as well, Igor Stimac clearly not having his best resources for this particular match. You're, by the way, playing against not just the 2015 champions, but Australia go in as one of the contenders. Yes, you've got Japan, you've got Qatar, you've got you've got South Korea as well. These are going to be the other teams that they will be vying with for the title. But Australia, remember, 2015 champions, again made it to the round of 16 of the recently concluded, the World Cup of 2022. So again, they know what it is to play at high tempo and at the highest level. And what did Sunil Chhetri have to say? Well, he said that we didn't have much knowledge about Australia when we played against them back in 2011 compared to now, which and now that you've seen footage of many of these players who play in so many of these leagues, some of them in Europe as well. Speak about their keeper who has been with Brighton, Brighton Achavian in the Premier League. Well, he says that we've gotten better idea as compared to 2011, and we know minute details now. He also says that they have a couple of they are in fact a couple of levels above us, but at least we know what we are up against. So those are the thoughts of Sunil Chhetri, the Indian captain, that with regards to how things were back in 2011. Remember, Sunil Chhetri, by the way, played in two editions, in the 2011 and in the 2019 edition. It was the last edition for Sunil Chhetri, but he feels at least there's a better idea that the Indian team has as far as their opponent in Australia is concerned. How exactly does the tournament pan out for him? He's got 6 goals. Correct me if in the comment section if I'm wrong in this particular competition. But India could be looking for that third spot or third finish even in the group stage, gives them a slight chance of qualifying for the round of 16. They'll have to take the longer route, but even then India will still have a chance at least. So let's just hope for the best as far as the Blue Tigers are concerned. Their opening fixture against 2015 champions and the world 25th ranked team in Australia. Let's see how it pans out. My colleague Shane will be with me as we bring the latest to you and bring the match analysis on Sports Day tomorrow. So be with us, tap that bell, subscribe to us so that you know when we go live and you're up to speed at everything, not just in the world of football, but everything in the world of sport.